preface for Bhagavad Gita here. Originally, I wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is in the form of which it is presented now. When this book was first published, the original manuscript was unfortunately cut short to less than 400 pages without illustrations and without explanations for most of the original verses of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In all of my other books, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Upanishad, etc., the system is that I give the original verse in English translation, word for word, Sanskrit, English equivalents in translation and purpose. This makes the book very authentic and scholarly and makes the meaning self-evident. I was not very happy, therefore, when I had to minimize my original manuscript. But later on, when the demand for Bhagavad Gita as it is considerably increased, I was requested by many scholars and devotees to present this book in its original form. Thus, the present attempt is to offer the original manuscript of the great book of knowledge with the Parampara explanation in order to establish Krishna consciousness movement more soundly and progressively. Our Krishna consciousness movement is genuine, historical, authorized, natural, and transcendental due to its being based on Bhagavad Gita as it is. It is gradually becoming the most popular movement in the entire world, especially amongst the younger generation. It is becoming more and more interesting to the other generations also. Older generation and older gentlemen are becoming interested so that the fathers and forefathers of my disciples are encouraging us to become life members of our great society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In Los Angeles, many fathers and mothers used to come to see me to express their feeling of gratitude for my leading the Krishna consciousness movement throughout the entire world. Some of them said that it is greatly fortunate for the Americans that I have started the Krishna consciousness movement in America, but actually the original father of this movement is Lord Krishna himself. Since it was started a very long time ago, it is coming down to human society's display succession. If I have any credit in this connection, it does not belong to me personally. But in view of my eternal spiritual master, His divine grace, Om Vishnu Pada Paramhansa Paribhricharya 108 Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. If personally I have any credits in this matter, it is only that I have tried to present Bhagavad Gita as it is without any adulteration. Before my presentation of Bhagavad Gita as it is, most of the English editions of Bhagavad Gita were introduced to fulfill someone's personal ambition. But our attempt to present this Bhagavad Gita as it is to present the mission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Our business is that to present the will of Krishna, not that of any other mundane speculators like the politician, philosophers, or scientists, for they have a very little knowledge of Krishna despite all their other knowledge. When Krishna says, Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto Mad Yatsit Mam Namaskuru, etc., we, unlike so-called scholars, do not say that Krishna and his inner spirits are different. Krishna is absolute, and there is no difference between Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's quality, Krishna's pastimes, etc. This absolute position of Krishna is difficult to understand for the person who is not a devotee of Krishna in the system of parampara, like succession. Generally, the so-called scholars, politicians, philosophers, and swamis without perfect knowledge of Krishna try to banish or kill Krishna when writing commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Such unauthorized commentary upon Bhagavad Gita is known as Mayavati Bhasya. The and Lord Chaitanya has warned us about this unauthorized man. Lord Chaitanya clearly says that anyone who tries to understand Bhagavad Gita from the Mayavati point of view will commit a great blunder. The result of such blunder will be that the misguided student of Bhagavad Gita will certainly be bewildered on the path of spiritual guidance and will not be able to go back to Godhead. Our only purpose is to present this Bhagavad Gita as it is in order to guide the conditioned students to the same purpose for which Krishna descends to this planet once in a day, or Brahma, or every 8,600,000,000 years ago. This purpose is stated in Bhagavad Gita, and we have to accept this as it is. Otherwise, there is no point in trying to undertake Bhagavad Gita, understand Bhagavad Gita, and speak of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna first spoke Bhagavad Gita to Sun God some hundreds and millions of years ago. We have to accept the fact and thus understand the historical significance of Bhagavad Gita without misinterpretation on the authority of Krishna. To interpret Bhagavad Gita without any reference to the will of Krishna is the greatest offense. In order to save oneself from the offense, one has to understand that the Lord, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as he has directly understood by Arjuna, Lord Krishna's first disciple. Such understanding of Bhagavad Gita is really profitable to authorize for the welfare of human society and fulfilling the mission of life. The Krishna consciousness movement is essentially the human society, for it offers the highest perfection of life. How? This is explained fully in Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately, mundane writers and have taken advantages of Bhagavad Gita to push forward their demonic propensities and mislead people regarding the right understanding of the simple principles of life. Everyone should know that how God or Krishna is great, and everyone should know that the factual position of the living entities. Everyone should know that the living entity is eternally a servant of that. Unless one serves Krishna, one has to serve illusion in different varieties of the three modes of material nature, and thus wander perpetually within the cycle of birth and death. Even the so-called liberated Mayavati speculators have to undergo this process. This knowledge constitutes the great science, and each and every living being has to hear it for his own interest. People in general, especially in the age of Kali, are enamored by the eternal energy of Krishna, and they wrongly think that the advancement of material comforts every man will be that the advancement of material comforts every man will be happy. They have no knowledge that the material and external nature is very strong, for everyone is strong bound by the stringent laws of the material nature. A living entity is happily the part and parcel of the Lord, and thus his natural function is to render the immediate service to the Lord. By the spell of illusion, one tries to be happy by serving the personal sense gratification in different forms, which will never make him happy. Instead of satisfying his own personal material senses, he has to satisfy the senses of the Lord. That is the highest perfection of life. The Lord wants this and he demands this. One has to understand the central point of Bhagavad Gita. Our Krishna consciousness movement is teaching the whole world this central point, and because we are not polluting the theme of Bhagavad Gita as it is, anyone seriously interested in deriving benefit by studying the Bhagavad Gita must take help from the Krishna consciousness movement for practical understanding of Bhagavad Gita under the direct guidance of the Lord. We hope, therefore, the people will derive the greatest benefit by studying Bhagavad Gita as it is, as we have presented here. And if one man becomes a pure devotee of the Lord, we shall consider our attempt a success. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, 12th May 1971, Sydney, Australia. Hare Krishna.